This high school season, it's time to choose your gaming destiny. Whether it's gaming icons clashing in the ultimate showdown in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, hitting the road and outpacing the competition in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, or slinging ink with your friends in colorful battles in Splatoon 3. Bring competitive Nintendo gaming to your high school through Play Versus. Learn more about the upcoming season by visiting playvs.com.
Howdy, everybody, and welcome back to more of your Massachusetts School Administrators Association action brought to you by Play Versus. It's the high school championship of Massachusetts. Kendo Slice, joined by my friend and statesman, Orbital. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. Excited to be here. Excited to get underway once again with some more action. So, yeah, hopefully it's going to be a good time.
Yet another high school state championship gonna be divvied out today. And a special thank you again to the Massachusetts School Administrators Association for helping us put this on. I do want to give a shout out to the two schools that are in Fitchburg High School. It is Fitchburg Raiders going up against Oliver Ames High School, and they are the Tigers Smash Stripes. I do love the integration of the team names to go with it. Also want to double down. Gotta love the administrators here and the coaches, specifically Gregory Bray Bustos and Adam Pomela. So shout out to these two coaches for guiding their teams to the promised land, as it were, for Smash in this state.
Yeah, it's crazy to be here with these finalists, right? And I think we should also highlight the route that they've taken, right? I believe it's through a very tough set of
Mhm.
play. You're looking at a bracket stage, single elimination and everything of the sort. So to go ahead and allow your team the chance to play off in these grand finals, and also keep in mind these teams have already warmed up. So earlier on in the day, while they were at this venue, at this land, they were playing in their semifinals matchups. So both these squads have already warmed up in a best of five series already. So they're looking to try and close things out with a win. Very excited to see what they can do and if they can make it happen.
A little bit of an underdog situation as well as the Tigers smash stripes. Oliver Ames High School, a sixth seed going into the bracket. Of course, Fitchburg High has been good the entire season, good enough to earn that one seed on the top end of the bracket. So you have a one seed, you have a six seed, and you have Play Versus bringing it all to you, folks. I gotta ask, are you ready to get into the action? Well, enrollment for the spring 2024 season is now open and it is free to compete. So discover the opportunities that Play Versus offers and get all the details for the upcoming season at playversus.com. Don't just watch, play. So we are going to be doing exactly that. We aren't going to just watch this. Okay, maybe we are, but they're going to get to playing. And we have a Bayonetta versus a Palutina right off the bat for Pittsburgh and the Tigers.
And going into this matchup, I mean, you're looking at the Palutena to try and keep them away as much as possible, but it is well known as if you get onto your opponent, you do have a great time. But at the start already, good trades back and forth. Looking at Band to try and weasel their way out before at the moment. Again, these scary combinations can be so devastating given the option.
Town and city, the locations, and what we've seen is a little bit of a timing battle. Both combatants have done a brilliant job of trying to outdo each other. I think we finally see one of those lethal Bayonetta combos. How is this Palu still alive?
It's a very nice DI to get away, and now you're able to try and fight back. You're on 121, which is not bad. I mean, you're looking at Queen as that Bayonetta. Yes, you are combo heavy, but you're also quite light. So if Paolo is able to get a single hit, that's good, but that's the finisher. Well done on the neutrals.
Really good early stock, and for a Paladina pick that tends to be more reactionary. You want to just zone out your opponent, etc. Again, the timing in this matchup going to be very interesting. All the countering tools are there for the Paladins.
It's there, but if you don't even get to counter, you don't get to play because it's a single stock is all you need, and all of a sudden you're right back in that same position, right? It's very difficult to get out of these issues. Once you get into desperation mode, you don't really get back out. So right now, Queen is trying their best to try and fight as hard as they can and get a dub that way. So that's going to be a throw. Ban hoping to get a little bit of a snipe, but again, it's a Bayonetta. You're going to get back to stage pretty easily here.
A little close. I thought they had overrun it on the bottom, and it is an entire stock lead at this point. Both damage bars brutally high. Finally going to get one in on the Bayonetta. Wow.
Took a bit of time, but it's a moment, right? And you're still fighting back. There's plenty of time to work with, but that's a punch and a half. Well done by Queen, being able to take that stock with only 15% on the back pocket. So now you get to fight back, and all you need is one more stock. Remember, all you need to do is win this first game and then work your way further, and that's going to be off the side, and you did it! It is going to be the sparkles, but not the stock. And, I mean, you can get a grab, you can throw again, and it should be fine, but man, was that close.
Yeah, that was extremely close. We even had the smash animation. Really well played to at least keep it in. I will say at this point, if the Palutena is able to pull the conversion, get a couple of confirms, and completely tag all of the momentum that the Bayonetta has gotten, that's going to be impressive to me. But what I have seen so far is a Bayonetta that is very good at pushing forth with those combos.
I mean, it works well, right? You're able to go ahead and get this first game, and to keep in mind the sort of style that you are running and you are watching right now, for those that are tuning in, this is gladiator style gameplay, right? Each team is going to send out a single player, and they are going to battle in a best of 3 game, right? Or a best of 3 set, right? You go ahead and play, and the winner of that wins a single set for their team, and it's 5-set series that you're playing for.
Yes.
So if it is a full 3-0 sweep, it is going to be one team being able to play out, and only one player can play in the first 3. So right now you're looking at Queen, who is a game up. If they win the next one, they have won a set for their team, and they're good. They will have to wait until possibly a round 4 to be able to fight back. So very interesting to watch. And the Bayonetta looks clean, right? At the end of the day, it looked very clean, very stable. And the Palutena is a little bit messy there. So a little bit difficult. Granted, it's very hard to fight against a Bayonetta if you're not practiced, but well done by Queen.
It goes back to that timing. Palutena has all of the countering tools to take down really anyone. Great character when it comes to, I guess, blind play. I guess you and I both very familiar with a blind pick. Palutena can take down a lot in the Smash roster. This Bayonetta, though, was able to execute in the proper timing, get through some of those defenses, and then once the combo started, it just didn't stop.
Mhm. And that's what Bayonettas do very well, right? If you leave an opening, they will take advantage of it, especially against lighter characters. You saw that last stock coming out of Ban, and therein lies the problem, right? Once you're on last stock, Bayonetta is actually very free to go ham, is the best way to put it, right? Normally, you're actually a little bit reserved on some of those stock options because you do want to carry them off the screen, you do want to fall through, but you don't want to put yourself in a dangerous scenario yourself. On that last stock, you're good to go. You're good to fly out. You're good to take them all the way to the ledge because you know that you can take that fight. So this time around, if you're banned, if you're looking at the side of Tiger Smash, I expect them to, if they're still playing Palutena, to play a little bit on a more open stage. I would hope, try and keep some range, try and stay away. Don't go for those melee combos, and don't be sucked in to Bayonetta's combos.
Yeah, you're going to have to play this to your own pacing. And I've found through my foray of Smash, it is a lot. I don't want to compare it to an anime, but you're trying to establish your own domain and your own control over the pacing and to create a dichotomy that your opponent can't always handle. Bayonetta did a great job of establishing themselves. We see a Samus pick. This is completely different.
It is, and this is actually going to be a little bit of a heavy hitter, right? Samus is, again, not exactly the most optimal. It's a little bit slower in terms of what they can do, a little bit more of a floater, and it's still very, very dangerous, but man, the power that you can bring out brings a lot more to the table, I think. So I like the swap. However, we have to watch Queen and how they adjust.
watch that very closely. Like the use of the block to kind of phase out, heal out some of the attacks. We do have a little bit more open a space as well, and the utilization of the bombs to zone out. Going to create a very interesting, a very different dynamic, and we're already seeing 50 damage up. Wow.
It's good. It's really good is what I'm watching here. So well played as well. I am expecting this to continue onwards, but this is going to be the dice here, right? You're taking a look at the side of Queen, and you are looking quite strong, and it's just a little slight adjustment, right? Now you go back into the combo game, you can balance it out, but good out, but that's going to be a time winder, and all of a sudden you get another combo off as soon as you were talking about it, right? That 50% difference is now cut down.
Comfortability, you're able to react at the proper time. It is just amazing to see the reaction speeds of everyone. Of course, Smash, something that someone like myself, who is an outside viewer, it has to get acclimated to at times. The amount of speed on these reactions is monumental, and what a turnaround by Queen.
It's so good, right? And again, as I said, Queen feels so strong on this Bayonetta that it's not a gameplay of, hey, you know, are you going to lose a stock or not? It's how quickly can you adjust? This is Queen looking strong, and yes, you're on 146 and then some, but you're not worried about the situation to be had. Really, it's on ban. You're trying to get this last stock. You're trying to finish it off easily and without racking up too much percent, but you actually challenge off of the ledge. You try and go for an edge guard, but it's not going to happen. Now back to neutral. Good body block, good stun out, and that electro ball keeping you safe for a moment, but only a moment if so. Now into the aerials, up and above. The Samus is able to survive and not caught in another combo.
There's no extra defense to get out and whittle through some of that combo. Every single punish is so devastating. They do finally secure the stock here, but at 74 damage down, they are once again in the same confines they found themselves in the previous game. Really well done to maintain middle and map control here, and that 74 quickly being cut into.
I mean, yes, it is, but there it is. Again, it doesn't matter how often you fight. It just matters that Bayonetta can get one hit and set you up. And the combos change, you know, depending on how much percent is on the opponent, right? 20 to 40 is a little different than the 40 to 80. And then the 80 to above is very different. Right here, you can see a little bit more side-to-side action with that combo. Keep them on ground level, try and shuffle them around. Very simple aerial action, and then the chase afterwards with an extra hit. All of a sudden, you're at 87, and Ban is on that last leg. You get the grab, you get the throw, but you still have to work through a whole nother stock, and you challenge off the air again. You're able to get close, and you get a second grab behind. Now with a full charge, if you land this, you are able to bring it back to even. I'm not sure it's going to happen.
And we've seen a difference between the Samus without the charge and with the charge, and you can see the amount of respect being given in through the middle. Not quite able to get there. Blocks the charge shot and does get thrown off the other side. The damage still racking up, but this Bayonetta will not go away.
It's just not going to happen unless you're willing to go ham, and that's going to be a good grab, and an up throw takes the stock, so Ban is closest than they ever have been, but the grab comes out of Queen, and now they're in control. If they control the sledge, it's optimal, and that's going to be the combo grab. You're at 120 and then some. This could be the finisher. An attempt at a DI, but the chase is too good. Queen, one good hit away, gonna chase off the ledge. He catches them on the re-entry. That's gonna be the grab, and I think that's gonna be it. A throw one more time, shots go out. Ben is on life support, can't DI off the ledge.
Wow.
You go ahead and grab, and that's the charge finisher. No, you're still barely up.
That's so much damage, but still able to hang on. Not anymore. What a charge by Queen at the end of this. That was impressive. But oh my.
So good. And for Queen, that is a solid start opener, right? You want to look good. And this is for Fitchburg, right? Fitchburg are well known already, I think, within the Massachusetts area. You say, okay, yes, they're a strong team. There's a reason they're number one. You need to hope for a little bit more behind it, right? This is the grand finals. You want to secure all the sets that you can. And keep in mind, once it comes around, if one of your teammates drops, that's okay, right? Keep in mind, this is a little different than Cruise, which you normally see on like Collegiate Zone, right? In Cruise, those stock differences are very, very important, but that's not what you're looking at here. Here, you just need to win. That's all you need to do. So these unique mains that can come out bring something else to the table. Like Ban came out with the Samus. We don't see that often. Samus is not considered a high tier pick. So very well done to try and fight back, but Queen had better adjustments. If we do go to a set number 4 or 5, I do expect Queen to be out there.
So a really good start as we are starting to look towards set number 2. And it is one of the things I love about any game in the collegiate space, but you especially get into FGC titles and Smash specifically. Being adjustable to the point that you can make a switch from a Palutena to a Samus is extremely impressive. These young folks are learning their characters and studying and getting to the point where they're able to react to anything that's thrown their way. So to see the small little micro improvements between game number 1 and game number 2 uh, was monumental, but it's Fitchburg taking that first best of 3. So they are up 1 set on this match.
And I'm excited, right? Because there's no runbacks, right? If you are looking at the side of Tiger Smash, you're praying for an opportunity in that set number 4. You're praying for that opportunity to fight back and say, hey, let's go ahead and kind of punch it up if we can. It's a little bit of a problem, though, because in the next coming match, we are looking at a Wii Fit trainer and Zelda, vastly different. And so that in itself will be very, very fun, I think, because Wii Fit Trainer is one that we've seen climb the echelons of the ranking system, right? And Zelda,
Mhm.
we don't see too often anymore. It used to be, I think, the Sheik Zelda combo that we used to see come
Mhm.
out in like I want to say Melee days.
Yeah.
Zelda is just not seen as often, right? The raw power isn't really there. If you are going to do anything like that, you would actually opt for a Palutena. If you're gonna look for a floater with a little bit of long range, a little bit of reflector, I feel like Palutena brings a lot more. So excited to see what the Zelda can do, but against a Wii Fit trainer, there's just too much in that kit. So very curious to see how this plays out.
Yeah, I am very curious as well. I've seen a couple of good Zeldas before, so I'm excited. But at the same time, I also know we may end up seeing, well, I may end up seeing a Zelda that is less than the standard that I've been given. So it'll be interesting. I am not as familiar with the kit for Wii Fit Trainer, so tell me a little bit about what you feel this matchup is going to be.
So you're really looking at that deep breathing to actually be a very large cusp of what you want to do. That is where you see the Wii Fit trainer obviously suck in, kind of re-energize themselves, and it gives a giant damage boost to the output that you have. So it's essentially like the rage factor that you see when someone goes 100% and over. The deep breathing allowed you to get smash percentages at about 70 to 80 on even some of the heavier characters, and
Mhm.
it racks up that percentage very quickly. Not only that, you're throwing out your energy balls as quickly as possible. You charge it up, you fire, and you're good. And with great recovery, you can actually play off the ledge or off the edge as much as you want and still be okay. You're still in a fundamentally equal fighting ground, I would say. From there, you can even go into the mix with a little bit of melee action if you want to, but you don't have to. And especially against Zelda, you might want to get up close if you start landing some of those heavier hitter combos. But on the outset, I would expect whoever is playing the Wii Fit trainer to play a little bit further back to test the limits and see what the Zelda wants to do. Once you either recognize or identify that, hey, the Zelda is going to play range as well, maybe I can go in, right? It's an identification of the styles, exactly what's going to go down. It's just a little bit more in the back pocket for the Wii Fit trainer because on top of that, you still have an extra projectile, right? That soccer ball coming out here is brutal or volleyball, whichever one you want to call it. That can still come out, and it's a whole new projectile game to play with.
Yes, indeed. And I know I've seen some spammable offense from a Zelda before. If I remember correctly, the kit not as robust as what we see out of a Wii Fit trainer, but I'm very excited to see what is going to be going on going forward as they are getting everything set up. Confirm it is a Wii Fit trainer versus a Zelda. We are going to be getting into set number 2 very shortly. Again, folks, Fitchburg, the Raiders, they are up 1 set. It is a best of 5 sets. So we'll go down the line. Best of 5 sets. The sets individually are best of 3, and they are 3 stocks. So there's a lot of threes. The big thing to remember is the 5 at the end. We are best of 5 sets. Here comes set number 2, and we'll see just who is able to get the upper hand early.
Yeah, and it's going to be on Battlefield as well, which I really, really enjoy. Right, Battlefield is one of the more standard ones. You're looking at Pokemon Stadium 2, as well as just I think Kalos is another one that's pretty standard. But Battlefield, I think, affords the best opportunity to challenge back and forth for the Zelda. Right, you're looking at Zelda. If you are playing on the top ropes, you can use those platforms to kind of buck away from that soccer ball to come out here. You can play the different elevation sides, and it can bring a lot to the table here. So I'm very, very curious how well it's going to work. But you can already see this has done a very good job of gap closing a lot of these scenarios. You can see the charge up of the knight from the Zelda is good, but Mobius, you need to stop taking some of the chances. You want to get in their face because, again, that charge time for the knight takes so long.
Absolutely, and it seems a little one-dimensional, both the offense and the defense that we've seen so far from Mobius. Nobody's lost a stock yet, but I don't think that's for lack of trying. It's lack of offense for both because of how slow the pacing has been thus far. And little good on. They're going to be venturing into the middle of this stage. And I like the little bit more movement, trying to bring things in close, change things up a little.
And it's going to take a while, right? Before things actually ramp up here. They're both challenging each other at center stage, and it's going to work. Another soccer ball goes out, and maybe you're looking for that final blow, but that's going to be a nice up B to get back on stage. But the chase up, Mobius, you went for it again to try and finish. I'm not sure if that was the right move. Now you're in a little bit of a compromised situation. The energy ball takes it. Mobius loses their first stop.
Oh, and the knight wrong direction as they come back onto the stage. That did not go very well, but they are able to get a good push out. The recovery as well as the zoning tools. I'm not liking some of the knight movement here.
It's unfortunately it's one of the key components of a Zelda kit, right?
Yeah.
This is what we talked about, right? In the past, it used to be the fact that you change between Zelda and Sheik, and that's what gives you your power. But in this moment, the knight affords such a large opportunity that it covers a low ground, which is great. It just takes a moment to charge up. You can also chase behind it like you did right there, and Mobius uses it to great effect. But if you over spam it, it does become a problem. It becomes very easy to read. So the mix-up is really where we're going to be watching for. Mobius right now at 1-0-1, and the chase by Oops grabs another. We're back at 0-0, but stock advantage to Oops.
This is just the musings of somebody who doesn't know any better, but I feel like utilizing the center of this stage and then bringing the knight where it's getting coverage all the way to the edge, either direction. On top of that, getting in the face of this Wii Fit trainer might go a long way.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Definitely avoid the edge at this point, because it has not been your friend.
And that one hurts, right? Mobius was attempting, I think, to try and go for the up B, but accidentally hit up A instead. And you saw the little up air that came out. So rough moment there to lose. Yes, you could have fought back, but you lose out on the opportunity. And mistakes do happen, right? Mistakes will happen quite often. You just have to kind of bounce back. So Mobius, you get another chance, right? Another game to go. If you're able to fight back, that's great. But Oops looked great throughout the entirety of that run.
Yeah, I definitely would like to see a little bit more in-your-face attitude from this Zelda because you're giving too much time to the Wii Fit trainer. The deep breathing has come in droves, and it seems like every single punish has been hyper-utilized, or it's been optimized, excuse me. So, large advantage to this Wii Fit trainer. Now my question becomes, do we end up seeing a switch of character once again? Like, is there another character in the back pocket for Mobius, or do we see a standard Zelda versus Wii Fit again?
I think you say the same. Honestly, I am someone that plays Little Mac through and through. That's the only character I
Okay.
play. And there's a point where secondaries don't help as much, right? It does draw away some of your skill from other characters, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, I get some hate back on there because multiple players do have secondaries, but you have to be very good on your secondary to bring it to the same level as that main. So I think the Zelda, you just have to shift up playstyle. I don't think you need to have a massive shift of I want to say character selection. I don't think you did anything inherently bad. It was just you played a bit too defensive,
Yeah.
right? For Mobius, you don't need to play defensive. Get in the face, try and challenge a bit more. In between the use of the knight, try and spam a bit melee, go for the grab or anything like
Mhm.
that. There were a lot of moments where we saw the likes of Oops kind of sit on base and just wait for an opportunity to come their way, and then they manufacture it from there. So maybe you can abuse those moments as well. Of course, if Mobius feels like it, hey, go ahead and get that character swap. It's up to you, but I think you keep with the Zelda, you keep trying to make what works work.
I want to see investment
Yes.
single time we see the knight. That is going to be the big thing because a lot of the knight play that we saw in game number 1, it just felt that we'll bring out chess reference. It was a hung knight.
I think that's the best way to put it. And so let's go ahead and see what can be done. Oops, now feeling much more in control. You can see already getting in the face. And this is what I was talking about, right? The ability to identify what playstyle is going to come
Nice.
out, what ability is going to be there to challenge. And
There
that's
we
going to be a
go.
great one covering one of those recovery options. But this is Oops. Oops saying, I will play up close and personal. I'll send you to the air and cause you problems.
Oh, the teleport back now. Really utilizing Knight as a zoning tool. I like that. And also utilizing the fireball. So we are seeing a different Zelda has utilized the middle of this stage has been the playground. And then moving things back when necessary. A return of investment on the Knight, looking okay.
It's going, I would say, a little bit better, right?
Yeah.
Not a lot. You can already see the percentages racking up, and that's because even though Mobius wanted to change their playstyle, so did Oops, and that's the thing. You talked about chess earlier, the Hung Knight. Let's go even further. This is a time to start predicting your opponent's moves and changing up your own style of play in chess. You are predicting, you are always optimizing your abilities, and that's going to be one of those. Oops, going ahead and saying, I know you don't really like to jump up. You don't like to challenge aerial recoveries. You're going to go ground. You're going to try and go ground level, and I'm going to punish you for it.
Defit trainer. Really utilizing the middle here. The recovery going to come in strong, but there's what we were talking about. Moving to the middle of the stage. That doesn't happen without the movement.
So good. And again, the adjustments being made, well played by the side of Mobius, but you need another one, right? You need another opportunity. And I don't know if Oops is going to give it. That's going to be a reflection. Very nicely done. You send it right back. And now the Knight just... And I love this, right? You're not seeing the full charge. You're going with the half armor. You're just using it for spacing. Mobius does get tagged a little bit. Not impossible to overdeal. But a nice jump in with the deep breathing. You have damage advantage. So Oops is going to look for the finisher on this stock as soon as possible. Soccer ball comes out. Not going to really land. Deep breathing is out. So now you have to wait time out. Another kick. The Knight blocks most of it, and another grab throw backwards. It looks like Oops has the advantage.
Very much so, but the fact that we're seeing improvements as we go, perhaps a missed opportunity there. Going to be close to secure here. Passive on the edge guard. Taking their time, wanting to make sure that they don't sustain extra damage now that the rage is activated.
I don't think they have a choice, though. Like, you're talking about range, you're talking about the opportunity. I don't think you really have as much. And that's Oops again with the deep breathing, a little bit of healing, but the extra damage buff is going to be there. Grab should be a finale, a final bot to take that stock. What a moment. Mobius down to their last.
Do they have the ability to finish things off, or will Mobius continue to make adjustments that pay off? That is the question. One thing's for sure, that Knight needs to be applied to a baseball team somewhere because whether it be a soccer ball, a volleyball, whatever you want to call it, it has been hit out of the park multiple times.
And now Mobius is trying to do one right back, and that's going to be a low recovery, and you can't get it. Oops has to go down, and Mobius, just like their teammate, just like before, just like Ban, they're going to try and fight for this last stock as much as possible.
Very close. 100 damage. Still the entire stock to go. It's going to be quite the come from behind if they are able to bring this back, but good patience.
Oh.
And getting to the middle of the stage area.
Very nice.
Oh, but that's not good.
It's going to be a problem. There's a little bit of danger inherently behind it. Mobius realizing they can't play as nicely as they would like. A nice little spin to get back on stage and be able to fight back on this edge. This edge has been their bread and butter for the time, but I'm not sure it's going to happen. Knight goes out to try and block on this edge, trying to create a little bit of space, and now they challenge in the middle. Good little snap, but oops, finds a hit. 143, a stray hit will send Mobius off into the shallow realms, and there it is. The dash takes it, and oops will bring another set to Fitchburg.
And this is where things start to get dangerous because it is a best of 5 sets, and we already see Fitchburg up by 2, living up to their #1 seed in this tournament. So really good stuff. And now the question becomes, is your anchor ready for what's about to happen? Because that third set going to be all important.
It's hard to say, right? Normally, when you talk about crew battles, the anchor is very straightforward. It's going to be an open brutalizer type of moment, right? You're going to have someone that is going to play pretty much a heavy that can try and get through 2 other types of characters. So in crews, you stay in until you lose all your stocks. And this is a little bit different. This is gladiator style, is the way I put it. Once a gladiator wins, you are done. So you don't, if you are the side of Tiger Smash Stripes, you don't actually know what character is coming out next for Fitchburg unless you've done your research, unless you've been able to watch them play and know what their third plays. So at this moment, unfortunately, you're kind of flying blind in the wind. And for Fitchburg, that works perfectly. This is actually an advantage for them because at the end of the day, each set goes back to net zero. You're just saying, hey, win a best of 3 and have at it. You're good.
Of course, getting ahead of ourselves, we start talking about, well, what happens if the Tigers Smash Stripes end up getting set #3? Well, we go back and you're going to see a repeat character
Yep.
from one of the 3 who had already played. So at that point, uh, doesn't it? This Bayonetta seemed like a problem. I imagine the Bayonetta is coming out in set #4 if that does indeed happen. I don't know that the Samus, the Palutena, or the Zelda have a very good kit for the Bayonetta.
What you're looking for is a little bit more all rounder to be
Mhm.
able to challenge the Bayonetta, right?
Yeah.
So taking a look at what they have, um, I would agree they don't really have a whole lot of options. Their characters rely a little bit too much on float and on reactionary play. They don't have a forward-facing character to actually fight in. So for their third, I do hope to see that. I do hope to see a little bit more um, angling into the I'm going to get up in your face and I'm going to create agency on my own. That's what we see from the side of Fitchburg, right? A lot of their characters know how to create agency, know how to create opportunities for themselves. We're talking about Bayonetta chasing for those attacks, chasing for those aggressive moments. You look at the Wii Fit trainer multiple times hopping into aggression, knowing if I get a stray hit, I'm good to go. There's not a whole lot of that on the side of Tiger Smash Stripes. So in game 3, in this set 3, we are hoping to see a little bit more close quarters combat. Maybe someone has a bit of brutalization factor. If you play King K rule, that would be fun. I think King K rule brings a vastly different degree. If you want to go a little bit silly, you could go for some heavy hitters, some other options, or you could go for light. I know Sonic is one of my personal favorites
Mm,
to watch. However, it's very hard to master. So
yes.
I'm not obviously gonna lean in too heavily into that one, but a lot of different variations. Just don't go for the floaters, the I want to wait for someone to come to me.
It looks like we have a small little break in between this set and the next set. They're still getting set up for the set #3. Fitchburg High up 2-0 over Oliver Ames. It's the Raiders against the Tigers Smash Stripes. And it is the Raiders with a definitive advantage. You had mentioned you're a Little Mac player. Uh, okay.
I
I
know
get the
what's coming
feeling
next. This is
I
this
get
is
the
not
feeling
nice.
you and I have already talked in the past on the subject of Smash. I get the feeling you would punching bag me because I like the float balls, whether it be Jigglypuff or Kirby. Tell me about what you think that matchup would be.
It depends. Are you good on those characters? Because if you're good, I'm stuck, right? Like Little Mac is the absolute opposite of what we've seen come out of the likes of Tiger Smash Stripes, right? It's a character that wants to get in your face and doesn't really have a choice. You can't back away on Little Mac. If you back away on Little Mac, you're literally giving ground away. So, in the instance you're talking about floaters, you're talking about challenges there. Um, Little Mac is great horizontally. In terms of the verticality, though, it's a whole problem in its own. So, a good floater sets a Little Mac into a frenzy. Like, we hate it. We do not want to play it. Kirby's especially are some of the worst. Mostly because yes, if we hit you, it's good, but you can float back. You can play the long game, play on the ledge, and there's no worries. Jigglypuff, you grab us once and we're kind of screwed. If you get that rest off, we're gone. There's a lot of fun factors to it in that matchup that would make it very reliant on if you're good or if you're not.
Okay, we are getting into set number 3 here shortly. Is that a Fox I see against a Bayonetta, potentially?
Yes, it is. So we
Oh.
have insider knowledge. We are actually
Yeah.
watching the players get set up a little bit. And so it is going to be a Fox come out against a Bayonetta. And the Bayonetta is on the other side, right? Bayonetta is currently rounding out for the side of Tiger Smash Stripes. So it's a whole different setup here. And now we get to see the shoe on the other foot. But we're talking about Julio, who Julio has for sure practiced against Bayonettas all the time.
Absolutely, and Fox coming in with a lot of speed. It'll be interesting to see as we see Town City how they are able to adapt to the mild changes of the map. I think the platforms might go a long way in helping out potentially a Fox. Uh-oh.
Yeah. Smile
Wait.
C, of course, enjoying their time here and trying to rack up the damage, and they have. You can see the percentage actually working very, very well, but a straight hit on either side would make things a little bit complicated, right? Take a look. That's going to be a grab. Fox right now, not the combo heavy that we see in Melee as often, but still can bring a large punch to the table.
I had to ask a question in the production chat there for a second because I thought for a second they were activating Windows.
Who knows?
Who knows? First stock goes to the Bayonetta, and this Fox going to have their work cut out for them. A lot of rapid fire back and forth. Uh-oh.
There we go. We're back. We're back.
All right, there we are.
Yep. No worries. No worries. And I mean, at this point, it's a juggling game for Julio, right? 172 and you get a smash, and that's good. I think Julio is just taking a little bit more time to get online than they would really like. Surprisingly, one of the parts about it is Fox is a surprisingly heavy character, right? When you compare it to some of the smaller characters, it's Fox brings a lot of weight to it. So these combos that you normally see lighter characters have, Bayonetta can carry him off stage. Fox is not going to have that in that 70 to 80. You're looking more at the 100 to 110 range.
Really good movement from the Fox. Going to do that. That's up air, and oh, there's the secure. What a play!
It's so good. And that's actually very dangerous. That was a stall out technique, but Smile not going to enjoy what comes next. You can see a little bit of a slide forward, and at this point, Julio's playing with extra money, right? All you need is a couple straight hits. You want to put, I think, Smile into a dangerous spot, but you can't. So Julio down and only got 9%. Well done by Smile.
Really good stuff. One stock left for both combatants here. This is going to be interesting. The closest matchup we have seen between these two schools so far. And it's going to go down to the wire here in set 3. Battling for the center of the stage, just kind of alternating back and forth. Do we have a combo? Bayonetta patented combo, not quite.
Oh, so close. I mean, this edge is such a problem. That's going to be a chase forward. A little bit of an up tilt, not really going to land, so Smile needs that straight hit. If you're able to find the straight hit, maybe you can get a combo rolling, and that might be it. You're going to carry over. You can't chase after, though. Julio says, not today. You will not get a smash. You will not get extra. And Smile on the ledge, trying to guard as much as possible, and now the Fox right back in center stage. Good tag, and the up smash to finish it. Julio reverses.
Wow, I cannot believe it. And the last moments, you thought for a second position was going to win things for the Bayonetta, but instead it's the Fox who comes back at the last moment. One smash, all it takes.
It was well done, right? And we saw the strength come out a little bit out of Smile. Very well done in terms of just being a Bayonetta player. But
Mhm.
the way to actually aggress is to get in the face. And I think that's what we talked about in that opening set, right? How do you deal with a Bayonetta? How do you actually fight against a Bayonetta and feel confident against it, right? Yes, you can play reactionary and you can wait for the Bayonetta to make mistakes. But in this instance, they did not. Julio said, no, we're actually going to fight a little bit more. We're going to get in your face. We're going to challenge you for some of these raw hits, and it worked in their favor, right? Chasing for those up airs in the middle of combos, chasing for some of those smashes is very, very appropriate. And I think honestly, Julio has this matchup kind of well worn now, right? Hey, I
Yeah.
practiced against Bayonettas in the past. Maybe they're just as good. I know the way to beat them.
I mean, you think about what a Bayonetta wants to do, and you go back to some of the thought process that I had earlier on. The best way to take a Bayonetta out of its game is to what? Is attack it, get in its face, and make sure that those combos can never go through because they never happened. That being said, some of the combos that we saw, I think the weight kind of played in because they weren't able to get beyond that third stage of the combo. Multiple attempts, just not able to execute fully. And that essentially was the difference. A single stock, both combatants close to 100% on the damage. One combo could have been the difference.
And that's honestly really scary for the side of Julio, right? The fact that it did get that close, because remember they were down a stock at one point. It was very, very scary, and the touch and go factor I think is going to weigh heavily on their mind. How are they going to play this next stock? How are they going to play a lot of these next situations? Because Smile did not play poorly. I think as much as I'm saying, hey, big props to Julio for making it work and everything. Um, Smile did not play it poorly. It was a well done fight, and I expect it to happen again, right? As you said, some of those combo drops were very small. And if you're able to connect, if you're now able to predict some of those DIs, hey, now you have a game plan to work with. Now you can actually follow after that Fox. And it is going to be the exact same matchup. So we'll see if there have been some adjustments made on Smile's side. If not, Julio looking for that 2-0.
But things slightly different stage-wise as we go to the Pokemon League. A chance for the Raiders to show themselves the masters of the Massachusetts School Administrators Association High School Championship.
And I think they can, right? Julio here on Kalos is a little bit different story, right? That middle stage that a lot of Bayonettas like to play with, play with the high elevation is not going to be there. A little bit easier to float behind, a little bit easier to challenge as well. So Julio should actually enjoy this quite a bit. Look at the chase, right? You're forcing these fights, but a nice time winder is going to be a problem. The time stop almost working wonders, but Smile is going to stay in the middle. Now getting chased by Julio and up there, not going to land as hard as they want. 114, the 120, and there's the up air that I wanted to see.
I thought we were going to get the combo yet again. We just had to wait on it. An extra second, all it took, and able to complete potentially another juggle here, but a quick counter. Julio in trouble. It's the 3 again, not able to execute it to a finish.
And at that point, you're looking for for one of the higher combos, right? The up ceiling style, and I mean on Kalos is actually very difficult to do so, right? So now you're actually looking for a smash instead of a combo, and that's gonna be the sidekick. It works so well, but you still took 43%, and Julio is still in the mix, right? Another juggle, a nice little snap out, but the grab is enough, and Julio is hunting for that stock outright.
Yes, indeed, and they might just get it. Oh, I thought for a second we were going to say quick down, able to maintain, but we saw a juggle that went by the wayside, was almost there. Great reaction speed.
I need to see more, though. If I'm looking at Smile, I need to see more. I need to see the chase, and that one's good. Can't DI out. Julio gets back to the ledge. Hopefully the sweep not gonna happen. And now a down air. Gonna rock their socks, but the up smash does it again. Julio is one stock away from taking Fitchburg to the full championship. They want that crown.
A little bit of taunt as well, and is able to fuck the edge guard away. Love what we're seeing out of Julio. Now with the rage, looking to do a little extra damage, try to get as much of
Oh,
that
oh,
stock as
oh,
possible. Am I going to confirm out of
oh.
it? Up air. Do they have another one? Not quite, but we're getting close.
These chases are just too good. Julio's hitting everything.
Oh!
One more up air would take it. A good jump out of Smile, but the grab is not the danger. 104, 119 on Julio. Misses the up smash. This is a chance. Smile needs to land these combos and punch their way to the final stock if they want a game number 3. Will it happen? Will it not? And that's the final back air. You're still alive, yet barely. The chase off the stage actually puts Julio into a dangerous spot. The stomp not gonna land, and now back into center stage. Julio goes. That's the time stopper. You get that stock, but Julio back to net 0. 133. As we said, the straight hit could have been an up smash, could have been a challenge right back to the middle. Smile goes into a rolling combo, 42-51. A little bit more to keep him off the ledge, and that's going to be the Firefox, but it looks like a save, and now the headbutt is going to land 145. They both collide in a mid-air collision. This is brutal, Kendo. This is a problem. The down air. Smile, can you land this last one? 117. Julio feels the pressure. You had that stock lead. You had the opportunity. I'm not sure it's going to end. A little bit of sweep. That's going to be a punch. Grab doesn't land. They are both hard chasing for this. Who's gonna get the straight hit? Who gets it? That's the hit. That's what you need. Smile brings it to a game 3.
The comeback of the century. You want to talk about a potential reverse sweep? You're gonna have to do it from the bottom up, and it's gonna start with this game right here, right now. Down. I thought it was over. I'm gonna be perfectly honest. Forgive me for doubting. Shun the non-believer.
It's painful to say because at the same time, Julio had a majority share of that final stock, but you could see got a little bit antsy, got a little bit uncomfortable in the scenario, saw the finish line and tripped up at the very end. And we did talk about the fact that if you're facing off against a Bayonetta, you can't allow for these opportunities to fight back, right? If you're facing off against a Bayonetta, a single combo can mean death. And at that point, honestly, Julio did well to get away from those combinations. It wasn't the combination that finished him off. It was the fact that the range, the hitbox was better for the Bayonetta, a back air versus a back air, and the Bayonetta wins it out. So very well done to Smile to carry on.
Yeah, I'm smiling right now. I hope y'all are smiling watching at the facilities there in Massachusetts, loving what we have gotten to see. And I am, anytime you see a full stock comeback like that, especially as dynamic as that one was, my goodness, the Fox on the heels. So take a deep breath. We'll see if we end up with a stage change, but I get the feeling we're going to get one more brilliant matchup between a Fox and a Bayonetta.
I mean, we have to, right? I don't think either player really has to change things up. Smile adjusting to the opportunities, and Julio, I think that was a small mistake. I think in their eyes, if you are Julio, you are saying that wasn't a game won by my opponent. It was not a win. I gave the last stock. I messed up. And if you are Julio, that's a very easy mentality to come back from because you won game 1 in pretty nice style. So instead, what you're hoping to do is say, okay, here's the deal. We're going to take things at a little bit different pace and say, okay, let's keep fighting if it's the Bayonetta. But I think we got word that it's not Bayonetta. It's a little bit different.
Way.
We're going to Peach.
No way.
I like it.
Oh my, this is going to be interesting, folks, as we are getting into this. Hey, now we're getting into it. But yeah, we have a Peach going up against this Fox. And okay, I got to give credit where credit's due. Tigers have given me a theme. They really like some of the floaty ladies of Smash. The Palutena, the Zelda. Now we got the Peach.
Yeah.
we have some princesses on this team.
Yeah, and I think that's fine, right? Peach is another character that is considered top tier. Here's the problem, right? The Peach brings a lot of combination, or not combination, but raw power to the table. You can see the hits really working wonders. The dangerous side is you don't have that combo game, and in a straight hit combination, I think Julio actually wins it out. Julio has done a lot better in getting in enemy faces, but that's a counter. The Toad rips back, and Julio, you don't want that to happen. What a well-timed bait by Smile.
And this changes everything. Mentality, the whole nine. You are already down pretty bad due to the fact that you had an entire stock lead and lost it. Now you're up against a completely different opponent, and the momentum for Smile just will not go away. Even the up smash, it gets missed, and Julio seems rattled.
I, I mean, I can see it, right? You're hunting for some of these hits, and it's just not happening, and that's gonna be another grab. And you gotta
Wow.
set yourself up for failure. Julio is already on last stock. This Peach change up is working to such a grand degree.
Totally. I'm sorry. We do see the stock finally, but now Julio's going to have to equalize the exact same thing we saw before in game number 2 of this set. They are going to have to make the full comeback, an entire stock. I don't know how they're going to be able to make it up.
I mean, I think they can. We saw the likes of Oops do it before. They can fight back in a full stock. It's not impossible, but I do agree it's improbable. It's very difficult with how Smile was playing. However, the combinations start landing in the favor. It's much better. High ceiling on Pokemon Stadium is going to keep the Peach alive, but a single hit could be a problem. A swing of the golf club isn't going to work. That would have been death if it hits. It's such a long knockback style. Now the chase with the turnips, not going to land. A fast fall down. Julio hunting for the hit, and that's the up smash that you want. You're at 98%, but it is doable.
Julio looking excitable, ready to try to take this one on. It would be quite the storyline to see Julio go down in a manner and then bring it back in the exact same manner. And already the juggle, we're halfway there.
I mean, it's a juggle, but it's only about 40%. That's one of the things they took a lot of power off. Oh my gosh, that could have been a hit. That land, that was not, I think, what you wanted to do. But now you go into the up air juggle. We've seen it before. Julio chasing for one more hit. Unfortunately, doesn't find it. Now it's a butt bounce from Smile. Smile looking at that's a turnip. Turnip does it. I think Turnip ends it. No, what? You got the slide. Are you kidding me? Now a grab out. Oh, Smile might have messed up. Another up air is going to land. One more juggle could take him to death. 141. Julio does not want to make a single mistake. Neutral air is going to keep him on the edge. Smile wants to land that big hit, and that's the butt bounce. You got it. The side B ends it. Julio loses out, and Smile takes their first set from this series.
Wow. I know this much. I'm not going to claim to ever be an expert at Smash. What we saw, though, was probably the highest quality Smash in the state of Massachusetts for this high school action. So that was a brilliant series between these two teams and Oliver Ames High School. The Tiger Smash Stripes are going to grab a set. We're going to go to a fourth set, which unlocks all sorts of possibilities. You have 3 members of both teams. Now we're going to get to see the run back. I get the feeling we do see this Bayonetta or Peach yet again.
I would expect so, and I'm gonna actually posit something forward. I would actually say Smile and Queen may be opening here in this next set. Reason being is I think you know what the opponent has, and I think for Tiger Smash, you don't actually want to throw anything else out, right?
Yeah.
The other 2 matchups actually had one of the roughest matchups of all,
Mhm.
and I do believe it's still blind player matchups. You don't really get that extra piece of information. So if it is blind, your best option is Queen. I think you are going to go ahead and say, hey, let's go ahead and play that double Bayonetta Smash matchup and just kind of run it. And then for Smile, if you do end up in a Bayonetta matchup, you go, okay, if I lose that first game, go ahead, swap to the Peach. See if that brings any functional difference. But for Fitchburg, I think they're still in a good spot, right? All they need is one major opening game, and you're kind of good to go.
I'm very interested to see what goes down, and I'm sorry to be looking away, but I'm watching very closely just to see what we end up getting as far as a matchup. This is the most adventurous wild card we could have in this entire format, and it is the matchup of set number 4 when everything is on the line. One thing is for sure, it didn't matter the switch from Bayonetta into Peach, we still ended up with a fantastic matchup between two brilliant combatants.
And that's the surprising fact, right? The rise of collegiate esports has given rise to the high
Yeah.
school leagues, and we're seeing the skill floor rise ever higher. We're seeing people get better and better. We're seeing players that are, 15, 16 start to take tournament names, and it's something that we should expect to see much further as well. These players that are consistently putting themselves at the same level as those that may even be going pro, right? We talk about, in esports, age doesn't really hold a lot of weight anymore. Where we watch people that have been playing for years since their younger ages start to be even stronger. And so we're seeing it here in the high school level. They're playing strong, they're playing fast. And granted, at this time, they're only in high school. Heck, we don't know what they're doing in locals. This is awesome gameplay, and I hope to see it ever further.
One of the joys of scholastic esports.
Oh,
No way.
so I was.
I Okay, this seems like a shout out, by the way. We have a Steve under the name Ban Me.
So
I feel like there's a lot of conversation that could happen.
yeah, so I think this is one of the I want to say substitutes coming out here, but as I predicted, Queen is actually the one to come out, right? I was saying that hey, your best option here in a blind pick matchup scenario is going to be that Bayonetta, especially against the likes of this Steve, and it's a problem when the stomp works. A quick stock taken at just 60%.
My goodness. That is not something you get to see very often. The stomp comes through, and I'm still laughing at the fact that we have a Steve, and Steve has been banned in certain levels of play as well as certain regions. And we have it named Ban Me. Like, I can't get over
Oh, very nice time winder. Now they're going to challenge it in the air, almost off the ceiling, but just not enough power behind it. But again, when you try and go mining, you have to put up your blocks first. You can't just do that for free. Queen punishing appropriately. Another grab to back throw. And it's easy light ward challenging with the minecart. And you're going to fire back a little bit of coverage, but a nice spike down. That is going to be Ban Me to give a little bit of breath in there. Now you got to go mining. You got to build up your resources as much as possible.
really utilizing the builds to at least try to phase out initial movement. So one side to the other. Steve trying to stay out of harm's way. Build yourself a house. The queen cannot get in.
I will be very, very clear. I dislike Steve as well. And I think Queen does too. That's the finisher. It might be a little bit of sparkles, but Bambi is still alive. Another combo could carry them off, though. 70% is more than enough. That's going to be a throw. Oh, man. You look for the grab, but it's not going to work. And now the challenge back, Queen has him on the ropes. That's a hard fall down. And it looks like you're going to get another spike. It's done. Queen with the style to take game one.
Bayonetta showing us legs. This one, the stop was incredible, but then the edge guard to secure at the very end was brilliant. So this Bayonetta already the 2-0 over the Steve. And do we see the Steve again? That one probably seemed like the most dynamic beatdown that we have seen the entire day.
It was an attempt. That's what I'll say, because like I said, the fact that Queen looked so good on the Bayonetta before and very nice at optimizing and adjusting to the opponent, it was very, very upfront that I think Queen was going to come out. Queen is their best player, right? And or at least one of them. I don't know about the rest of them, of course. I don't know what else they play, but it feels like Queen is a strong point. So you know you're going up against a Bayonetta. The Steve did not look practice. I'm not sure if that was Ban We Fit or not, which was the second for the side of Tiger Smash Stripes. I don't know if they were messing around, right? Going ahead, say ban me or anything like that. But the Steve did not look as practiced as they would probably like. So maybe this time around, go back to Old Faithful. If it is going to be that Steve, though, again, be a little bit more cautious and comfortable. And it is going to be the Samus coming out here. So it was Ban We Fit, and now you get a fight against this Bayonetta.
And of course, down by one already in this set, and your tournament lives essentially on the line. Once again, using zoning tools extremely well and working around some of the attacks from the Bayonetta. The combo is so oppressive at times. We get a force spike, won't be able to get any further though on it. Quite a bit of damage from both combatants. As this first stock, not going quietly for either. Maybe I spoke too soon.
I mean, that's a dangerous spot to be in, right? You're looking at this problematic situation of, hey, I can't really get over some of these energy balls. You can't get over some of these blasts, but now Queen is ready to rampage if they can. Good grab, though. Knew that they were going to chase in, but the recovery is just too good. We're looking for a stray hit if you can. Another throw. Ban We Fit is working this to perfection. Doing a quick slow turnaround, and that's going to be a time winder waiting for a chance. Be not going to land, but Queen on 119, little bit of a problem. Good grab.
I like the ideas coming out from Banmi. Trying to work off of some of the motions we've seen from Queen, trying to zone out some of those jumps, and the attempt to close the gap quickly. All in all, though, it may be a little too much respect given to Queen. Hasn't been able to get the secure yet, and Queen's not going down without a fight. Is that a chance for a combo to horizontal rather than vertical? Maybe.
I mean, that could be a big opportunity as well. You can see both of them realizing this first stock is going to be very, very important, right? Whoever gets this first stock is going to feel much stronger moving into the second, and that's a full charge blast. That is something Ban We Fit has been optimizing against. There have been times in a quick rebuttal back, Queen is able to trade it out, but I think Ban We Fit has done so well in identifying that Queen loves to open with a charge in, just go straight forward. If you identify a weakness, you can make it work, right? Yeah. Very well done by Ban We Fit. Now you got to do it again.
So much respect given to each other. They are paying attention to each other's motions. Enough so we're seeing counters to counters. Both are thinking 2 or 3 movements ahead of time, and we're seeing some real high IQ close combat between the two.
I mean, that's the other side of it, right? But Queen's starting to read it. A little bit of a punch goes awry. You tried to cover high, and it doesn't work. Now Ban We Fit hunting and barely gets the ledge. Good block there, and a grab again. This is the 4th or 5th time Ban We Fit has been able to get away with it. That's going to be off the stage, though. 114 on Ban We Fit. Question marks are abound. Chase forward, and now a boot to the face. And you finish that stock, Queen, with a nasty combo from edge to edge.
Really well executed. We've seen signs of it multiple times.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Good recovery.
Yeah, you ever have your life flash before your eyes?
It's there. It's so scary, but at the same time, I think Queen feels confident enough, right? You can chase with this last stock. What did I say last time? When it's in last stock scenario, Queen feels comfortable. Bayonettas feel comfortable chasing on the very far edge of the screen. You don't care about the problem. Nice dodge on that full charge. And now you're just hunting for that straight hit. If you can set up with an up tilt, you're good. There's the setup. Now follow chase. And then some. You're carrying to the top ledge. Can't land that last hit, but a quick neutral air will clear the components. You'll clear the air. And the finisher. Spike down, takes it. Queen forces Fitchburg into the champions.
That is right, folks. We have a winner in the Massachusetts School Administrators Association High School Championship. It is going to be our friends at Fitchburg High, the Raiders. They are going to win that one 3-1, and it was brilliant, the display that we got to see.
I loved it. They showed up why they're the first seed, and yet at the same time, we're looking at Tiger Smash Stripes, and they put up a fight, right? They took a set off of them, and they said, "Hey, we'll run it back." And I love the variation with the Steve, right? Have a little bit of fun, have a little bit of silliness, and if you practice it a bit more, I think it could be a major fighting component. But Fitchburg with just a little bit stronger queen. Really nice job to round it out at the end to take the championship.
Okay, folks, it has been brilliant. The action has been lovely throughout the day at Helix Esports, and Massachusetts was fully on display. It's something that I love to see. I love the continued growth of Scholastic Esports, and we want to say a special thank you to all of our friends at Play Versus, all of our friends at Helix Esports, our guy Blasky in the back, Ken Carmen, Ghetto Slice, alongside my friend Orbital, and Orbital, take us out.
I mean, yeah, thank you so much for having us here. We're excited and congratulations against the Fitchburg. Everyone, have a good night.